Okay, and let me know. Hello, hello. So we are back for part two. I don't know where I stopped, but we're gonna pick it up when we can. And let me know, daughter, if hold on a second. Am I even live? I hope I am.
It says here.
It says I'm live. Okay, it says I'm live, you all. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, it says I'm live. Hopefully, please let me know in the chat if you can hear me better. Can you hear better?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, we had a situation with audio, but now we're back, and I'm just going to give everyone a chance to find me and come back in because I know we were having audio issues. So hopefully this is better for everybody. Let me see if it's showing.
I told everyone that you're gonna do it.
Thank you, I appreciate it. My daughter is here managing me again, managing the chat to make sure that everything is going right. Okay. It says you're live. Oh, okay, you're good. Okay, hey Cal. Hey Cal. Cal David, you're live. Thank you. Hey Lula. Welcome in, Lula. Still matching that tree. All week long. I guess everything I wear is going to match that tree, Cal. What do I say? I don't know. I had nothing to say about that. But I'm glad we're back and that the audio is working. I'm not sure what happened before. You were on before and I had no idea. I know that's because not everybody gets the notifications. Only a few people, I guess, selected by YouTube. I don't really know how YouTube does that, but I know not everybody gets the notifications. So that's why I'm just excited when you all are able to come in and you see me and you pop in. So I know it's not because of you, Lula. Bibble running things. Bibble is over here running things. Yes. Bibble said, "No, you do sound terrible." So we just made a decision. I said, "Well, we'll just get off." And I'm so glad that she was here. Look at my mother texting me. I'm gonna say, "I'm back. Come back in." And she said, "I lost you." So that's my mom texting me to let me know. She's also managing me from afar. To let me know that she lost me. And I'm like, no, it's not you, it's me. It's everything over here. So I'm just glad we're back, you all. I was talking about Genesis 3. I don't know how much you all heard, what you didn't hear. So kind of fill me in over there in the comment section. I'll be kind of looking for you all to help nudge me back into this conversation and guide where I should be. I don't know if I should start over or continue on. I had no idea you were live before. I know, and it's like I think that if you have the people that are like consistently coming, they should get the notifications. Like they should be the ones who definitely get the notifications because I think that means you like to hear content. So I like the people that I like to listen to. I feel like I should get their notifications, but I don't all the time. So I understand. Not a problem, Lula. Hey, Prince Daniel, how you doing? Run it back. You said run it back, Cal. All right, we running it back then. So, what are my thoughts? I had so many thoughts. Part two. That's right, Matthew. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Well, so my thoughts were. Let me pull myself together. Turn it down one notch. Okay, so my thoughts was this, you all. You saw the title. Did Adam throw Eve under the bus? Do you all think he threw Eve under the bus? And I said it because I've read, everybody's probably read, if no other chapters in the Bible, you've read Genesis, right? And when I was reading Genesis as a younger person, I don't think I really thought too much about it. I was just like, okay, I read it and I'm like, all right, yeah, Eve ate the apple or whatever she ate. Well, people say it's the apple. We don't really know if it's the apple. It could have been whatever it was, right? We don't know what kind of fruit. We don't even know. Do we even know if it was a fruit? Let me see. Let me go to the Bible and see if they even said. Yeah, let me even say. Oh, it said fruit. So it could have been a banana because I don't remember seeing anywhere in the Bible where it said she ate an apple. I think that was just kind of cute. Like maybe people like apples over other things, or maybe it was just a cute little illustration. Either way, if you look in Genesis, I'm there right now. It doesn't say she ate an apple. Do you all see anything where it says she ate an apple? Let me know if you do. Because again, we're working through this together. We're running it back. I guess I better put part one in the other one just in case people look at the replay, they'll know what happened and know why I kind of just came in without giving an introduction. So, yeah, it says she ate the fruit from the trees in the garden, right? Maybe Eve threw Adam under the bus. Lula, no, I'm gonna read that. Okay, that's good. Okay, a man would say that. I can completely anticipate that. I was ready for that in this side. So I'm glad that we have some men here that can, answer some of the questions that I had as I was reading this. I thought it said she ate an apple. Apple pie. Cal said she eat apple pie. I don't see apple anywhere, and I'll read it, and you all can tell me if you hear apple, because I didn't see apple unless it's in a different translation. So I'm reading from the NIV, but I want to read it because I wanted to focus on Genesis 3, but specifically look at verse 12, because that is where I was like, wait, hold up a second. Hold up. Now, some of you Bible scholars who have your Bible, you might want to go ahead. You're probably looking at verse 12 already. I'm going to read this because I want people who do not have a Bible to have the foundation and to understand where I'm going with this, because I'm going to say some things that some people may be like, hey, wait a minute. And that's all right with me, because I'm going to give my opinion, and we're here because we're all learning and we want to find out more about the good book, as they say. I say the Bible. We want to find out more about the word and dive into it. And I know that this is the place where we all come together and, we share our thoughts. So keep sharing your thoughts. I'm going to read it. I thought it said she eats an apple. Apple pie is delicious. I don't like apple pie. I don't like apple pie either. So it'd be great if she ate a strawberry or something like that. I like strawberries. Sweet potato and pumpkin is good, Bibble. All right. What? Bibs, that's crazy. Have you tried with vanilla ice cream? Nobody. I don't like apple pie either. As American as they say it is, I don't like it. A sweetie potato pie? Nope. I don't like pie. Okay, let me just tell you all. I don't like pie. So it probably really doesn't matter what kind of pie you say. I don't like it. All right. And now I'm going to read Genesis 3. And whenever I read a verse, this is what we're going to do. If something jumps out at you, like whoop, if something piques your curiosity and you're like, oh, wait, then you put it in the chat, because that's probably saying that we need to talk about it. Your mom likes wet lettuce, though. No, I do not, Cal. Now we telling people that your mom does not. Can't get you. I'll keep trying. Hold on. She has to go to it. Can you text your grandma? Let me text my mom real quick.
Do you want me to text it?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll put up a new one. My mother is looking for me in the okay. It's part 2. Same title. Okay. Okay. Give me 1 second, you all. I have to send this to my support system because they support me. And we talked about support yesterday. And I like pie and apple pie. And I felt like, oh my GGJ, and bibs are great. So, all right, there we go. I put a new title up. Okay, she should be able to find it. Let me see. I could send it to her. That's what I'll do, right? I have the technology to be able to send my mom the link. That's what I'm going to do. Let me see you all. Give me 1 second so I can share it with her. And then I will be right back with you. And then that way she can get right to it. There we go. Okay. Picky eaters. The apple hasn't fallen far from the tree. Exactly. And she is picky, just like her mama. So I can't say anything about it. Nothing. So, all right. I sent that to my mom. She'll probably be jumping in soon. But while I'm waiting for her, this is... You'll see it. You'll see it. But okay. So while I'm waiting for her, I'm gonna start reading Genesis 3. Cal, I know you and Luther will be able to appreciate this. Chocolate pudding pie though hits so differently. No, I'm not even concerned with a chocolate pudding pie. I don't care what kind of pie it is. Don't want it. So it says this is fall. This is Genesis chapter 3. And remember, I want you all to think about Genesis chapter 12. When I get to it, chapter 3, verse 12. So when I get to that, tell me, all right, welcome in, mama. Yeah, I'm glad you got it because I know you're going to appreciate this one. I know you are. So I'll just start over for the people who may be coming in now who may not have been a part of the first disaster, or, well, actually, you know what? It's a learning experience and something that I'm not used to. It happens. Hey, Sayla, how you doing? Or is it Salia? I'm not sure. Hi, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Salia, yeah, I see you all the time in my shorts. So thank you for participating and showing support. Thank you. All right, so Genesis 3, and tell me, you guys, because when I was rereading this morning, some things were just like coming out. And I know they had before, but I'm like, oh, I could so share this with the community and see what they think. So Genesis 3, we'll start with verse 1. And it says, now the serpent was more crafty. So we know the serpent is crafty, manipulative, smart, right? Clever, and deceitful. Those are just a couple adjectives, right? You can figure out the rest of them. Whatever you think adjective goes with the serpent, you go ahead and figure it out. It is okay if you get it wrong. Oh, no, I like to get it right if I can. I'm just Salia. Okay. No, so verse 1, now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. So it says any of the animals, any of the wild animals. He said to the woman, did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? See, here he is questioning them, making people feel doubtful. Eve specifically making her feel doubtful. She knows God already told her not to eat from that tree. And now here he is, or now the serpent is saying, did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? And I'm reading from the NIV for anybody that wants to know. The woman said to the serpent, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it or you will die. Because I don't know, I said die. You will die. I don't know if you're supposed to say that or not on YouTube. I'm gonna say it. You can't say that on YouTube. Okay, I'll just spell it out. DIE or pass, or you will pass. I don't think you can say that word on YouTube. But I'm reading from the Bible. But God said, what he just said. So she knew, don't touch the tree in the middle of the garden. And the way I think about it is, she knows what tree it is in the middle of the garden. Maybe it was in the middle of the garden by itself, or maybe it was in the middle of the garden, like in the middle. So she knew it was in the middle because that's all it says is it's in the middle of the garden. So I know that it must have been specific enough for her to know that she's not supposed to touch that tree because God is intentional. God is specific. So he wouldn't have just said, don't touch the tree in the middle. And then it'd be like 25 other trees in the middle. I don't think that would happen. So maybe it was the only tree in the middle and maybe it was sparkling. It was like, don't touch this tree. I don't know. Maybe it had a sign up, or in our day, we can think about it having a sign up. Maybe the sign was, he just said, don't touch that tree in the middle of the garden. You know which one I'm talking about? Eve was set up. Peach, I know she was. And she got it. That is exactly what I'm about to talk about today. Peach, you came in right on time. Lula, that is kind of true. Peaches. Lula said, but why would God make that tree to begin with if he didn't want someone eating from it? That is a very good question, Lula. See, that's why I'm bringing this to you all. Maybe God can put the tree wherever he wanted to put the tree, right? We all know that. But maybe he put it there just to see how obedient they would be. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe he put it there to see if they would be obedient. Maybe he did. If you're a parent, have you ever bought something and you tell your kids, don't touch it, right? Don't touch it. You're not buying it because, wait, let me see. God made that tree to begin with. Okay. You bought it because you wanted to buy it. God put that tree there because he wanted to put that tree there. He told them, don't touch it. So it's not whether he should have put the tree there or not. It's they weren't being obedient. Because if I buy something that I want and I tell my kids not to touch it and they go and touch it, now there is a penalty. There is a consequence, a price to pay. They shouldn't have touched it because I said don't touch it. Honor your father and your mother, right? If we're not steering anybody wrong. God said, don't touch that tree. So is it a matter of him putting the tree there? He can put the tree wherever he wants to. He could have flipped the tree upside down, as far as I'm concerned, and let the leaves be on the ground and the roots stand, going toward the sky. It's his choice. And she still shouldn't have touched that tree. She had all the other trees in the garden. Why you want to touch that tree? Why? I think she ended up wanting to touch it ultimately because she was curious. She's like, why this tree out of all the other trees? Now we're going to read along. We're going to continue. And then you all can tell me what you think. But I think he was just like, hey, maybe he wanted to see how obedient they would be. I want to know if they're going to touch that tree. I put it there. What if I bought a piece of cake, like the cake that my kids absolutely love, and I put it right in the middle of my countertop in my kitchen, and this cake looked delicious. It's just the best cake ever. One that they always want, always request. And I said, I'm gonna buy this cake, and I put it right there. And I say, don't touch the cake until tomorrow. Now, if they touch the cake before tomorrow, before I instruct them to touch the cake, that means they're being disobedient. So I don't know. What go ahead, keep telling me in the middle. What do you all think? Let's see. So I see this comment section over here. Let's see before I keep going. And I don't even know what verse I stopped at, but we're gonna go back to it. But God knows all. So nope, that makes no sense at all. Luda, that's kind of true. That's from Bible. Eve was set up. I really love that comment right there, Peach. Oh, Miss Ma'am. So we have another snow day today, if you all don't know that. But God knows. Okay, true. Cal says to test man, man was given everything, even a woman, and still had to have free will, I guess. Okay. He was testing them to see if they would listen. Okay, that's good. That's kind of where I am with that. That's where I am, Salia. I hope I'm saying your name right. I feel like I'm not, but I'm so sorry if I'm not. Because I can go anywhere, any direction with that name. It's a beautiful name. Salia. Okay. Why would God test when he knows all already? That makes no sense. Okay. I think maybe he just wanted to see if they were going to be obedient. That's what I think. I think he just wanted to see how obedient they would be because he already knows all. So he already knew they were going to do it. But maybe just like us, when he asks us to do something and we don't want to do it or we don't do it, he's just trying to see if we're going to be obedient. Because this is the thing. God he knows all, sees all, is in control of all, right? We know that. But we all still are given the ability to make a choice. So I think God wanted to see if they were going to make the right choice, if they were going to be obedient, or if they were going to let this little slithery, clever, crafty serpent get in their ear. And we all see, if you know the story, we see what happened. The serpent was able to do some convincing, and he was manipulative. I'd eat a small piece of cake. See? Would you eat it if your mama told you not to, though? Even if God did it to test someone, if God knows everything, wouldn't God basically be setting that person up for failure if God knew they had a chance of messing up? Good question. He already knew they had a chance of messing up. Is he setting them up for failure, though? Is he setting them up for failure? Well, he's giving them an option. And I know in the Bible, it says God always provides a way out for us. So is he really setting them up for failure? Or is he just testing them? Is he kind of shaking the waters up a little bit? Because think about it. They've had everything in this garden that they needed. They wanted for nothing. They didn't have to walk around with any attire on. They didn't have to worry about going shopping, did they? They didn't have to worry about buying groceries. Whatever was on the land, they could eat it. God didn't say they couldn't eat anything. He didn't say, oh, you can only eat from one tree. He said y'all can eat from any tree in this garden except for the one. Now, what made them want to eat just from the one? That's what we got to look at. Not was God setting them up. Not was he being conniving. God is being God because he knows all. He sees all. They had to make a choice. It wasn't on God to me. It was on them because do you believe what I'm saying enough? And this kind of goes along with us as humans right now. Do you believe what God is saying enough to trust him? That's what it's about. Did we trust him enough not to eat from that tree? Did you trust him enough not to take that job somewhere that you shouldn't have taken it? Did you trust him enough not to move to that state that he said not to go to? I'm trying to make it real plain. Did you trust him enough not to tell somebody off even though you could have? Because he already knows the end result. He knows what the consequence of your action is going to be. So doesn't it make more sense to listen to him and do what he's saying to do? Or are you going to listen to the slithery serpent and be like, you know what, maybe it's a little leeway there. Maybe God didn't really mean it that way. He was just saying, don't do this. But if I read a little bit deeper into it, like the serpent was trying to, I'm going to read that. I'm going to read it because I want you all to see it and hear for yourself. Did he really say that? Or am I misinterpreting what he said? Did he really tell me not to touch that tree directly in the middle of the garden? Or did he say, just, you can get a little taste or, they could have interpreted it however they wanted. But the truth is, they already knew exactly what it was that God told them to do. He said, do not. And I know he had to be very clear because how many times have you known God to mince his words and not tell the truth? Never. He's 100%er. He hits his target every time. So They couldn't have misunderstood what he said. They didn't want to obey. That's what it boils down to. Even if God did it to test someone, if God knows, okay, I read that part. Peach says, but he would have known that they weren't going to be obedient. This is why this drives me crazy. It doesn't make sense. I know that's why we're doing this today, Peach, because I read it and I was like, it just took a different spin for me. So we're gonna read Bibble, True Lula and Peach Bibble. It's laughing at Crooked Peach Bibble. Oh, it's pretty. I put the heat on. Just keep it on. Well, I have it. Is it good? Okay, good. That's good. Put it over there so it'll dry more. Do you need it to dry more? Okay. I tried to put it under the heat so it would. All right, sorry about that, you all. Bibble wants cake. Yes, always something sweet. Cake is delicious, so I totally get you, Bibs. Maybe he had faith that we would listen despite knowing we wouldn't. See? All right. Despite knowing we wouldn't. Kind of like, your child going to do something, but you have so much faith that they won't, so you let it play out. See, that's exactly what I said in the other live. You all probably couldn't hear it because it was scratchy. So I'm going to say it again. I'm going to use the example that I used before. What if I bought a cake, right? And it was a cake that my kids, did I already say this in this live? Yes. Oh, okay, yeah. That's why I said cake. Oh, okay, so my daughter, all right. She's getting me back on task. Sometimes I forget what I said, you all. So, yeah, what if it was that situation where you're a parent and you say, don't touch it? I expect you not to touch it. Not because you like, okay, I'm curious and I want to touch it anyway. I want to know what's in there. Well, my thought is this. As a parent, I already know a lot of things that my kids are going to go through because I probably have already been through it myself, or it's something that I have knowledge and I can kind of stop them before they get hurt, before they make a mistake, before something happens. Now, also, I know that they have the ability to make a decision for themselves. And I'm making this comparison because we're like that with God. So we're children of God, right? God already knows what the end result is going to be. He already knows what it looks like and what can happen when we do the thing that he told us not to do or to do. But he also gives us the ability to make that choice for ourselves, right? Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to come without consequence. That's what we see right here in this Genesis 3. It's coming with a heavy price for women. I feel like it really came with a hefty price for us, but I'll get back to that. So, yeah, it boils down to obedience. If I tell my kids don't touch something, I'm fully expecting them not to touch it. Now, they might choose to. That's going to come with a consequence. They can do it, but it's going to come with a consequence. And I think in this instance, God knew that they would see something that long term would hurt them in one way or the other, right? Because it says now they have knowledge of good and evil. Now they know. If you read it, they didn't care about being naked, naked, right? They didn't care about not being clothed. But now all of a sudden they're like, oh, we don't have anything going. You didn't have anything going from the beginning. Like they never had anything going. Now all of a sudden they had it on. This is what God was trying to protect them from, because he already knew that once they realized they were uncovered, that there would be an issue. And I'm going to read what you have in the comment section. I'm going to take a pause for a second with this mouth, and I'm going to watch the comment section. And then I'll go back to the Bible verse where I think I left off. All right. So Lula said, that's a great way of putting it, Cal. Yeah, that was 4 minutes ago. If they truly wanted for nothing, they would not have eaten it, period. Clearly they wanted for something. They wanted to experience something that they were told not to, right? So maybe what do you think they wanted? What do you think their desire was, Peach? And Lula said, very true, Peaches. Fact of the matter is we had everything and was chosen in his image. And one thing we told not to do, yet man did. I'm with Cal on this one. The one thing. It's the one thing. It's not like he didn't say all 99 of those things you can't have, but that one thing you can. It was the reverse. They had all the things. The way I understand creation in Genesis when I read it, God put them in control of everything. He said, he allowed Adam to name everything, put him in control of all the animals. You can have this, you can have that. Anything you look at from here to there is yours. You can eat from all the trees. You can taste test anything you want and feast off of everything I have in here. You don't have to worry about not having. They didn't lack. They were just selfish. They were curious. I'm saying they were curious because why else would they have been like, no, okay, I got all these other trees. I have everything, anything on this ground I can have, anything in this garden is mine. There were no limitations that I know of. Does anybody else know of any limitations? I thought he just said that one. I thought he just said that one thing. So he was like, that one thing. So he said that one thing, don't touch, but you go and put your little hands on it. I don't know. I said maybe it's because I'm a parent. I take issue with it because if I give my kids everything they ask for, everything, and I can completely relate to this because my kids lack for nothing. They are loved greatly. Like they're loved. If we don't get in this household, which we do, you better believe somebody, one of their loved ones, gonna be like, "Oh, okay, I got them. I got it. They're great kids. I got it. They're wonderful." And I'm like, so if I put down that one thing and I say don't touch it, but you got a billion other things and you want to go touch that one thing, I think that's an issue with you. Tell me what you think in the chat. I know Peach. Okay, Peach, go ahead, say what you got. I call you out for that one. You had an issue because I told you one thing. Mm. That one thing you could not touch. You couldn't touch that one thing because I allowed you to have everything else. And I said, you can touch anything else, anything. Just don't touch that tree in the middle. Don't touch that tree in the middle. Now, because somebody comes and says, oh, no, I think he meant this. You don't surely believe that he meant to do it this way. Like, he couldn't have said it that way. Like, he let you have everything else that you want. He let you have everything that's in his garden. But you think he said, don't touch that? No, I beg to differ. So it was that they allowed the deceptive words of the serpent to plant that seed because they weren't even thinking about it before. If you read in Genesis before that, they ain't say nothing about wanting to go to the tree in the middle and take anything. They ain't even questioned. They were just like, oh no, God said don't touch it. Now why all of a sudden you want to go touch the tree? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. And I'm gonna go to this chat and see what you all think because I'm all the way behind. Peach said something. Hello, Miss Lynn. How you doing? That's the game changer. And that's why, okay, I'm okay, a few minutes behind. That's the game changer. And that's why he cursed him. That's what we want to get to. Because that's why he cursed him because we fell because of that. They had pure minds like a baby's. Yes. And the slick snake deceived them just like an adult can, yes, can deceive a child, a naive child, just like a fool. I think, Calton, just like a full adult. Somebody who's an adult can deceive a child because they're naive. They don't know. They're innocent. They're pure. They don't know. And then you have an adult come and say, hey, your mom told me to come pick you up after school. And then they're like trusting, like, okay, maybe my mom never told me about you, but maybe my mom sent you. I don't know. That's why you got to be real intentional about what you teach your kids and how you tell them to be watchful and observant and watch out for strangers. I told my kids, I don't care who it is. I don't care. If they look like your grandmother, I don't care. If they look like somebody that you know, you are not to go with anybody. You are not to talk to anybody. You're not to do nothing. I am the person who's going to come get you. Like if it's not me or your daddy, it ain't nobody or your sisters. I mean, and it's a shame, but not a shame because that's the world we live in, that you have to, get your kids prepared for things like that. Like I don't want my kids to be caught out there not knowing. So God fully prepared them though, didn't he? He said, do not touch the tree in the middle specifically. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, God's intentional, knows all, sees all, right? So why would a God that knows all, sees all, that's intentional, and that loves his children make it so that they wouldn't understand not to touch that tree? I said that one, right? Not you got everything else here, but you just don't touch the one in the middle. I think it should have been hands off. That's my opinion. But also, we're like that too. We're like that too, aren't we? It may not be a tree for me. It might be something else. It might be don't go over there to the school building and have a word with the teacher. I don't know. I'm reaching really, right? Or he might say, hey, if I'm in a heated conversation or a debate with somebody, he might say, don't say that. And I can hear him clearly. Don't say that. Why? Don't say that because he knows where this conversation is going to go. He knows that if I say whatever that phrase is I'm going to say, especially if I'm heated and I'm upset, he's saying, don't say that. It's in my best interest to be like, okay, I hear you. I'm quiet. right? What next? What you want me to do after that, God? Don't say nothing. Give it a couple of days, okay? But if he says to me, don't say anything, give it a couple of days, and then I in turn say, oh no, forget that. I'm about to give them a piece of my mind anyway, and I give that person a piece of my mind right now within this instant, and now it goes left, and I'm like, man, shouldn't have said it that way. I might not think about it right immediately, but I'm gonna think about it and be like, man, God told me not to say that because he knew it was for my good not to say that thing and not to address that person in that situation. It's on me now because I made the decision to do it regardless of what he said. He said, don't do it. He was trying to save me from the consequence of that action. But yet I made the decision to go and to say, oh, forget what he said. I heard you, but I'm not listening. I'm going to do it anyway. That's what they did. They were like, I know what you said because she told the serpent what God said. She just didn't want to do it. Let me see what you all say in the chat because I see it moving. Hello, Crooked Peach. The devil tried to set Adam up. He's very cunning. He set him up. He set Eve up. The devil set both of them up. He started with Eve. Why didn't he go to Adam first? I wonder. Like, why didn't he whisper in Adam's ear? That's what I want to know. I wonder if the story would have been a little different if he said something to Adam. Maybe not. What do you all think? Because we saw what Adam did, don't we? We see what his action was. I'm gonna read it in a verse. Let me see if I can find it. So now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? The woman said to the serpent, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden. You must not touch it or you will die. Okay, you will not certainly die, the serpent said to the woman. And I'm sure he was like, oh, you won't. Why are you worried about that? For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Was he telling the truth right there? Was he telling the truth? Was he being honest right there? He kind of twisted the words up, but looks like he might have been telling them a little bit of something that was real, right? Good and evil. He's very crafty and very cunning and conniving. So sometimes those people who are really gifted in vocabulary, they can use those words and twist you up, and you're like, wait a minute, maybe he didn't say it like that. I think that's how the serpent was. He was so crafty with his words and knew how to persuade her, and he did. And he did because it says, when the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye and also desirable for gaining wisdom, I think that's it right there. She took some and ate it. So I think she wanted wisdom because even in the Bible, it doesn't say if you want wisdom, ask for it. She wanted wisdom. She might not have had it. So she's like, if I eat it, it's going to be good and I get wisdom. That's a twofer right there. I get both for the price of one. If I just eat it, I'm going to have both good food and wisdom. And I'm going to try to highlight that part so I don't forget where I was. Okay, now let me see what you all are saying. Cal said, this plays out again in the book of Job. Devil tries to bring God's elect and God has faith and let it play out. Yep, sure is in the book of Job because he did the same thing. This leads me to my next question. Lula, hopefully, why would someone make something just to tell others they can't use it or even check it out even once? What would be the purpose other than controlling that person? Anybody? Let me see if anybody answered that before I get to that. Down, not day typo. I see. Be right back. I'm eating food. Lula, but the ego of man to feel they can question God. Yeah, Lula. What do you think about that? You might already answered. Let me see. Enjoy your food, Bibble. Enjoy your food, Bibs. Have not a parent said not to do something, and it's just that I don't need to explain myself to you, child, aka Adam. Right, what do you think about that? Hey, Cal, look at you on top of it before I get to it. There we go. What do you think about that, Lula and Peach, if you're still on here? I'm the parent. I'm the parent.
Peach said she had
Peach said she had to go. Oh, okay. I'll look at by next time. Yeah, but I'm the parent. You're the child, right? I know what's best for you in this situation. God knew what was best for them in this situation. So why not just listen? That's disobedience. And I know you're going to say, well, it's still tempting. God put it there. Yeah, he did put it there. I put that piece of cake on the table too. If you, Lula, if you purchase something, and let's say you don't have kids, let's say it's just a roommate or something like that, right? You buy something you bought groceries for the whole week for yourself. You bought groceries because it's something you really, really wanted. You really wanted this apple pie, or I don't know what your favorite dessert is. I can't remember because you told us. But you really wanted this one specific thing, and you told your roommate or a friend or whoever, you can have anything in this refrigerator, but do not touch that piece of cake. But don't touch that piece of cake. Why? Because it's yours. You purchased it. You put it in the refrigerator. Now, what happens when you come home from a long day of work and you were thinking about that piece of cake or that piece of pie all day long? All day long. Now, you get to the house and you already, you take your work clothes off, get in the shower, might work out, whatever it is you're doing. You're like, oh, I can't wait to get that piece of cake later. Now, you go to get that piece of cake and it ain't even there. It's not there. It's not that that person couldn't have gotten it and eaten it. We all know they had the ability to eat it because they have a mouth, they have a digestive system. But you told them specifically, don't eat that cake. I want it. You can have anything else. All the strawberries that are in here, they look real fresh. The bananas, you can have whatever it is you want in this refrigerator. Please just don't touch this piece of cake. So it's not that you were trying to set that person up. Maybe it's just that you had a desire for that piece of cake, first of all. And maybe the second thing is maybe you just trusted that they would not do what you asked them not to do. I think it just depends on that relationship you have with that person. So I think the guy got his answer, And he saw that, okay, they're human. They have flaws. They can fall because they definitely fell in this instance. They did not trust God enough to do what he asked them to do. Oh, it's so pretty, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like glitter. Sorry, the snow is blowing and it looks like a lot of glitter and sparkles outside our window. It's so pretty. I don't want to be out in there, just in case somebody wondered. I don't want to be out there. I just like looking at it.
I do.
Okay, so yeah, Adam and Eve are his children. And if you're a child and you tell your child not, if you're a parent and you tell your child not to do something, aren't you going to be like, I told you not to do that. Got to run down and see you later. Bye, Peach. Hey, Bud Fowles. I know I'm just saying this later. I see it's late. Take care, Peach. Man was loyal to God. The serpent comes through loved ones to trick you. This is what exactly. Adam knew, but also trusted the woman that was his companion. God doesn't fully, I could be putting these on the screen. God doesn't fully blame us or wouldn't have sacrificed his son to fix our misstep. All right. That's good, Cal. That's good. He wouldn't have. He still believed in us enough, and he still loved us enough that he would send his son. You're right. He still loved us enough. Cal put the hearts. Okay. What is y'all's favorite type of pizza? Half truth. Yes, you are aware, but now mortal. Yes. Pizza is amazing. Let's see what else did I miss. Okay, I'm caught up on the comments. I'm caught up. Okay. All right, good. So yeah. I'm all right. Let me continue because you might see something else. So she said it was good and she would get wisdom. She also gave some to her husband who was with her and he ate it. Now it says she also gave some to her husband who was with her and he ate it. It says he was with her and okay. I didn't even see this part when I read it last night. Now I see it. I thought this whole time he was somewhere else, like in the garden. Are they saying he was with her in the garden or he was with her like right next to her when the serpent said this? Because I don't know. I guess I always thought about it as Eve was by herself and ate, and then Adam came along and then she was like, hey, you know what? I just ate this fruit from this tree that the guy told me not to eat from. You want to have a bite? White is good. Oh, so I'm just kind of curious now. So if he was with her, like if he was with her I don't think he was with her when the serpent asked her. So I'm just going to take that route. But if he were with her when the serpent asked her, then why didn't he like jump in and stop that action from happening? And also when she offered him the fruit, why didn't he say, I don't want it? Why didn't he say, God said, don't eat it? Yeah, God said, don't eat from this tree. Because he could have said that. But I guess also we're human and we could say a lot of things that we don't say. We could step in and resolve some situations or keep things from happening or going further if we stepped in, but we don't. So that's the answer to that question, I guess. What else do you think? Or is he saying with her in spirit, like he was with Judas when he betrayed? Ah, now that's something I never thought about. Good morning, Jamie. He could be saying that, Cal. I never thought about it like that. Maybe he was, maybe, but it says she also gave some to her husband who was with her and he ate it. I'm almost tempted to, I want to, maybe I should look at another translation. Let me see. I'm going to look at another translation on that one. Let's see. That's 3 and 7. I wonder what the okay, just hang out with me for a second, you. I'm gonna look at the Amplified Bible on this one. Oh, you saying God was with her? No, read it again, please. Okay, I'm gonna read it again. No, it said that Adam. Okay, let me. I went to another translation, Cal. Give me 1 second. For God knows that in the day you eat. Okay, so this one, the Amplified is more detailed, and it says, let me see. Okay, I went down too far. Okay, so it's verse. And when the woman saw that the tree was good, suitable for food, and that it was delightful to look at, and a tree to be desired in order to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. And she gave some also to her husband, and he ate it. So when you all hear me read that, I wish I could put it on the screen. You know what? Oh, I could pull the Bible verse up and put it on the screen because I want you all to see it. Oh, it's saying Adam. Yeah, it's saying Adam is with her. Okay, so this kind of puts a spin on it for me because I am just now realizing that in this verse it's saying that he was with her. I always thought he wasn't like back in the cut or she was right here eating of the apple and he was like, over there somewhere in the garden. Who knows? Yes, he followed his girl over there and when she took, he followed. So why didn't he step in and say to the serpent, no, God told us not to eat it? Why did he? Okay, let me finish reading this verse and you all tell me what you think. It says, "In a tree to be desired in order to make one wise." Okay, so I'm trying to find out where I was. Okay, it was verse 6 that I just finished reading. She took of its fruit and ate, and she gave some also to her husband, and he ate. That's exactly what it says in the Amplified too. So then the eyes of them, so in the Amplified and in the NIV, it's saying that he was right there and he ate. Did anybody else ever notice this in the Bible, or is it just me? I guess I just kind of assumed that he wasn't there, and even if I read it, I was just still kind of like, no, he must not have been next to her. Yes, he followed his girl. Then it says, then the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves apron-like girdles. So they covered those parts up. Wait, so are Adam and Eve still alive? No. Trusted woman, love is dangerous. He trusted her enough to be right there in the midst, in cahoots with her. And he's like, okay, I'm going to bite this too. Whatever it is that they ate. We know it's not an apple. Well, we don't know if it's an apple because it didn't say apple. I've read it again. It does not say apple in there. It just says fruit. So now we know that that is something that is untrue. When people say she ate the apple or they had this cute little picture of her eating an apple, it does not say she ate an apple. It says she took of its fruit. The fruit can be anything. What if it was dragon fruit or I don't know, an orange? Maybe oranges don't look as cute as apples. I don't know, but it don't say apple. So then it says, and they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees. See, this is why. Hi, my dear friend. Hey, LaRue. Hey, how you doing? Cal, GGJ, that's the original peer pressure. Yes, I like that. That is hilarious. That is the original peer pressure. Talk about peer pressure. And they were the only ones in the garden. They didn't even have anybody else there. It was just the two of them, right? My goodness. And the serpent, the slithery, conniving, cunning little snake came and was so, man, this thing was a wordsmith. Had to be, because Why else are you going to believe what the serpent says over, I'm going to say serpent. Why would you believe what the serpent entire time has made your life just like living in a bubble? They had nothing, no worries, no doubts, no fears, no concerns. They were just, the way that I imagine it, they were just able to kind of frolic and wander around and have a grand old time and not worry about anything. But yet you touch the one tree that God said don't touch. That goes to show me something about our thoughts and our character. And I'm just saying our because they are a representation of us, right? They are human. They were Adam and Eve. They were the first. And they're a representation of some of the things that we think and we do, even if we want to admit it or not. They are, right? There's some things that I know I've done. God probably said, don't do it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to just test it out a little bit. Maybe he ain't mean this way. I might not have said it with my mouth, but my actions showed something differently. Hey, my dear love, good job. Thank you. And this is how they came about. The word woman. Whoa, man. Hey, J3, how you doing this morning? Okay, I'm gonna get my daughter to say get to her comment. Let me see. But there, I'm gonna put J3's up there. Oh, okay, I'm gonna find it. I'll find it. So you all, let's keep thinking about that. If the man was there with the woman, Adam, because this put a whole nother spin on it. Like I said, I thought he was somewhere roaming around the garden, maybe picking fruit from other trees or, talking to the animals or whatever he was doing. But now I see something different. And I just want you all to continue to chime in while I look for my daughter's comment that's so important to her. Where is it? Go up some more. Yeah. Mom, you should host a Kahoot game about this verse to see who knows. Kahoot, does anybody know about Kahoot? Yeah, we do. That's okay. We can't do Kahoot right now. Oh, I'm almost an hour in right here too. Let's see. Adam said, I can't let my woman be more daring or disobedient than me. maybe that's what it was. He was like, no, I gotta let me go over here and test this thing out too. I don't want to be alone. Hello, J3. Good to see you. Good to see you. We're talking bad on our great grandparents, right? I know. Okay. I know I probably should feel bad, but I don't feel bad because they're a representation of us. And when you read stories like this in the Bible and you dig a little deeper, now we understand why we are the way we are. Some of you are not going to admit that you are, but you are because we all fall short. So if we all fall short, we've all made mistakes, just like Adam and Eve. It's just that we point the fingers and be like, oh, Eve, boy, that was terrible what she did. And I'll really be like, Eve shouldn't have did that because I wouldn't have had labor pains if it weren't for her doing this. But if it were me, would I have made that same choice? I don't know. Would I have been curious like Eve and like Adam because he was right there. It said right there. If you got a Bible, pull it out and read and look at it and see. Tell the people that I'm telling the truth. It says it right there. He was right there, and she gave him some of what she had, and he was like, "Oh, he probably was like, oh, this is good." And then immediately when they had it, now they were like, "Oh, we're naked." Ooh, could it be that that's what God was trying to keep you from seeing? He wanted to keep you from seeing that side of. He knew if you saw this side of things, you're going to see things differently now. As long as you didn't think you were naked, you were cool, calm, and collected. You were innocent and pure. And he wanted to keep it that way. But no, you want to eat from the tree that he said don't touch. Now you see all the good and the bad in the world. Now you see all those things. That's the same thing he tries to keep us from. Don't touch that because if you do, now you're going to see this side of it. You won't see the innocence. You won't see the purity in this thing. You're going to see this thing is really evil, that you really have some people who don't mean any good by you. You really have people in the world who want to take your children, right? Or who want to harm your children or who want to teach them things that are ungodly. So God's like, I told you that for a reason. It wasn't because I was trying to withhold something from you or be selfish or say, don't touch it, just don't touch it. It's because he was trying to keep them from experiencing the other side of it. Let me know in the comment section if you disagree and tell me why. Tell me why you disagree with what I'm saying. I want to hear because it'll make me think about something different. And Terry May said, Jag said it's all good. Adam didn't man up. He should have told Eve, no, don't eat it. He was the head of the family. It's all about being obedient. I agree. He should have manned up. He ain't put on his big man underwear. Why did he take part in it? And I'm not pointing the fingers. Eve was wrong too. Eve was wrong for doing it first. She was wrong for tasting it because she knew not to do it. Adam also knew not to do it. Both of them were wrong. But why didn't he say, as the man, God don't want us to do this? Because he was there. He was there. He wasn't isolated in a part of the garden somewhere off that nobody didn't see him. He was right there. He still decided to take part in it. So he is guilty too. He's just as guilty. They're both guilty. But I'm like, I feel like people point the finger at poor Eve all the time. Eve did this, Eve did that. Adam did too. Adam did too. And he was the man. He was supposed to be the head. God created Eve from Adam. So why didn't Adam say, no, 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 we shouldn't be doing this, Eve? You know, he could have told her and she probably would have listened because her desire is for her husband. It say that in the Bible, right? Because that, if we read further down, I'm gonna tell you all what it says. I'll tell you all. Hi, hey, Riz, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Geeky, I'm doing good, fam. So yeah, it says it right here, and I'm going to read it. Let me see what Cal said. She thought Adam was somewhere drying the lettuce. And Eve came back with the contraband. See, I can't do this with you, Cal, today. Superman, no, 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 not today. But that's hilarious. Yeah, Adam was somewhere drawing the lettuce. He should have been drawing the lettuce for her. He's supposed to be the man. He's supposed to be the head. And I'm not targeting men. Please don't think that. All the men here, I want you to stay here because your comments are valuable. But why did he step up and say, hey, I'm sure he probably stepped up in other situations. Why ain't he step up in this situation and say, Eve, we ain't supposed to do it. God said no. God said don't touch that tree. And he could have been like, hey, God said don't do it. Now, she still would have been like, I'm going to do it anyway. Because, sometimes I'm a married woman. Sometimes my husband be like, Drea, I don't think you should do this. And I'll be like, well, I think I should. I think I should. Well, now it's back on Eve, right? They both made the decision. They both had a choice, and they made their choice. Man up. But their minds were like newborn babies. Men didn't think like that. Okay. All right. I didn't think about that, Cal. See, I'm glad you said that in the chat. Maybe. Maybe. I know it's a typo. It says but, not bit. Okay. Man up, but their minds were like newborn babies. Man didn't think like that. Maybe, or maybe their minds weren't. Maybe they had enough knowledge and enough knowledge and wisdom that they should have known that. Because why else would God say, don't touch the tree in the middle? So he gave them enough sense to know that he said not to touch the tree in the middle. Even if they didn't know anything after that, they knew not to touch that tree, right? They didn't know why they couldn't have touched that tree. They just knew they couldn't touch the tree. If I'm your parent and I tell you don't touch it, I don't care why you think I said don't touch it. I said don't touch it. Now, it's on you whether you're going to be obedient or not. So their problem was that they were just being disobedient. That's all it boils down to, really. If you think about it, like, let's call a thing a thing. They were disobedient. And some of us can relate because how many of us have been disobedient? How many of us have walked away from what God told us to do or the direction he wanted us to go? How many of us have done that? So like I said, it's not just an Adam and Eve thing. It's a human thing. That's just a great example. If we look at this in its entirety and we break it down, like I like breaking these verses down because it just shows me just how human they were and just how God was. And so then God says, let me see, Lord God among the trees. Okay, so, and they heard the sound of the Lord walking through. So they hid themselves. We know that part. They put the little things on, the leaves on like an apron so they can cover themselves. But the Lord God called to Adam and said to him, where are you? Now, why did the Lord God call to them? Why? Because they were hiding. Because now they're naked. And they didn't realize they were naked at first because before they weren't hiding. Now they know they're naked because they ate from the tree they shouldn't have eaten from. Now they're naked. Now they're hiding. And God's like, you weren't hiding yesterday. In fact, you weren't even hiding an hour ago when I saw you all walking through the garden. Now all of a sudden you're hiding. I know something's up. That's just like a parent when they say don't touch that thing and the kid does not have to say anything, but you know your child, right? You know your child. And you know just by looking at their face, they touched something I told them not to touch. For those of you who are not parents, this is a heads up. You'll know when your child has done something. They don't even have to tell you. You can tell by their speech. You can tell by looking in their eyes. You can tell by their gestures. You can tell by everything. So I know if I'm thinking about me as a parent and God as their father, he knew. He's like, where you at? Where you at? Come on out, because I already know what you did. He said, I heard the sound of you walking in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. That's Adam talking. He said, I heard you. I heard the sound of you walking. And I got scared and I went and hid because I didn't want to deal with the consequences. He went and hid not because he was afraid of God, but he went and hid because he was afraid of the consequences of his actions. What do you think about that? I'm just talking along the way. And he said, who told you that you were naked? This guy talking to him. Who told you were naked? Because you ain't know you were naked yesterday. Have you eaten of the tree of which I commanded you that you should not eat? He called them out. He didn't mince his words. You must have eaten from that tree that I told you not to eat from, because otherwise you wouldn't even know you were naked. You know you're naked only because you ate from that tree. Because if they would have eaten from all the other trees in the garden, they wouldn't have known they were naked. Why? Because every other time that they ate from every other tree that was in the garden, they didn't say, oh, we're naked. We need to put on some leaves and cover ourselves up. But all of a sudden with this one tree, now they know they're naked. And now they're afraid because now they have to face the consequences of their actions. And he said, oh, and the man said, the woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me fruit from the tree and I ate. See, there you go. Point the finger. Look at him. Did he man up in that instance or did he throw her under the bus? That's why my title is, Did Adam Throw Eve Under the Bus? Can't imagine hearing God walking. I know. Can you imagine hearing God walking? Like, was it really heavy steps? Or was he like, did he have light steps? Like, because he said, I heard you walking, but you can hear somebody walking if you're the only two people in the garden, right? Like if you're the only two there and you have animals and stuff like that, the God's steps must have sounded different from the steps of animals because they had animals and stuff like that, right? So I don't know. I wonder, like, did God walk lightly or was it like a stomp? Was it like a shaking of the garden? Was it like a, I don't know. Was it like a, when he walked, did he walk and crush the leaves or what happened? Did they even have leaves? Yeah, they had leaves, didn't they? Because they used leaves to cover themselves. So did he step on leaves and they heard it or what did they hear? Because you can't really hear when people walking on grass. I don't know. I'm just real curious right now. And the Lord God said to the woman, what is this you have done? And the woman said, the serpent I'm back. Hey, Luther. And it's cheated, outwitted, and deceived me, and I ate. See, she said it. Yeah, he cheated me. He outwitted me. He deceived me. He was clever, and he used his words, and he tricked me. That's what it was. It was trickery. And the serpent knew he could get her because he probably saw a deficiency. Like, oh, I could just tell them this, and they'll eat from that tree. And now, they're gonna be in hot water with God, and that's what he wanted in the beginning was so that they can be, have these consequences. He didn't know what they were gonna be, but he's like, I want to take them down too. Why not? They're easy target. So he knew he could persuade Eve and Adam to do what he wanted them to do. I never left chat, just walked away for a bit. Oh, okay. All right. Good to see you back in the chat. That was him blaming God, but two things can be true. She did, after all, hand him that and led him over there. Just saying, she did. She did lead him over there. According to the Bible, like it wasn't Adam first. It was Eve that was talking to the serpent, and the serpent persuaded her. And then she's like, hey, Adam, I got something for you. Come taste it. So, yeah, GGJ is trying to save Eve. I'm a woman. I believe in women's rights. And I believe in equal opportunity. No. So, hello, Dolly. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon to you, wherever you are. I don't know. Good night. I think you're in the U.S. So, Dolly, join in on this conversation. We have 58 minutes, y'all.
Are you gonna stop it?
I'm gonna try to stop close to it. It's not gonna be at an hour because I only got 2 minutes left, but maybe an hour and 15. Let's try about an hour and 15 just so we can wrap it up. So, and the Lord God said to the serpent, so now God is about to put here come the consequences. Here come the consequences. I told you not to do this. You did it anyway. Now here are the consequences. Have you ever gone through that? God said, don't do something. You did it anyway. Here are the consequences. Maybe harsh, maybe very harsh. You don't know. God's steps probably sound like thunder. That's what I would think too. They sound like thunder. That's probably why he was scared. He was like, oh, here come God. He was shaking in his boots. He didn't have boots on. I'm just thinking he was probably like, ooh, that's God coming. We better go hide. Also, he was like, ooh, that's God coming. We better go hide because we messed up. We messed up now. He was jealous of man, so he deceived them to create the downfall. Of course. He was like, listen, I'm not the only one going down. I'm taking everybody down with me. And that's how he thinks right now to this day. That's why I said, do not believe in the serpent. Like, we all know he does not like us at all. Hates the ground that we walk on. Hates the ground we walk on. The devil. And so he's going to do anything within his power and his might to try to deceive you and distract you. That's why I'm always like, be on a winning team. Be on God's team. Why would you play for a coach that can't stand you, that does not like you, that does not love you, and is trying to take you down all the time? It says he's walking around looking for somebody to devour. Why would you want to be on somebody's team like that? Now, it's your choice. You already know that it's your choice when you're here at Geeky Girls Journal. I'm not trying to persuade anybody. I'm just trying to tell you the truth and get you to look at things a little bit differently. Why would somebody that hates you, hates your guts, can't stand you, wish you were never born, and wants to destroy that thing that God has for you, why would they want you to be successful? They would not. So why would you want to be on a team like that? That's my question. Why would you want to be on a team like that? Get on a winning team. That's Team Jesus. Hey, Cal Daily. God is great. Amen. Absolutely. Yes, he is. God is great, Dolly. Cal. I see I missed something. Hey, daughter. God is great. Cal. Hi, Dolly. But through it all, God's love has redeemed us. Amen. Yes. It's 4:30 p.m. in UK. Ooh, 4:30. Okay. It's almost dinner time for you, Dolly. It's 4:30. 4:33 now. Yes. Through it all, God's love redeemed us. That is the point of this love story. This love that God has for us, and he's redeeming us and trying to draw us in and pull us back to him. We just have to be willing to accept, right? We just have to be willing to accept what he's offering, us. And let me see, do I need to read the consequences, or are we good here? Do I need to read the consequences? Because we're at 14. And the Lord God said to the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed above all domestic animals and above every wild living thing of the field. Upon your belly you shall go. Check that out. That's how a snake became a snake. Now, on the belly, no feet. You have no feet. Wait, do they? He said, on the belly you must go, and you shall eat dust. Could you imagine having to be on your belly and eating dust? Thank God I'm not a serpent. And what it contains all the days of your life, all the days of his life, he's going to be there. Okay, Cal said, read it. Okay, I'm going to read. I'll continue to read. So on your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust. And what it contains, it can be anything in that ground, in that dirt. We know it's all types of things in the soil, right? The gardeners know what's in that soil. All the days of your life, you're going to be on your belly eating dust and whatever's in that dust. And this is verse 15 right here. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will bruise and tread your head underfoot, and you will lie in wait and bruise his heel. Okay, we know that's a prophecy that's going to be fulfilled, right? He's talking about Jesus. He's talking about what Jesus. Okay, so 16, to the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your grief. Ooh, wee. He was not playing about that. I will greatly multiply your grief and your suffering in pregnancy and the pangs of childbearing. With spasms and distress, you will bring forth children. And that is a true statement, you guys. I've had 5 kids. None of them felt like an enjoyable ride. Definitely had grief, suffering, and the pain of childbirth. The blessing is that after it all happens, you see that little face and you know that you have a blessing from God. You don't forget. You don't forget the pain. You don't forget all what you just went through. For people who say, you might forget years on down the road exactly how it felt, but you still associate that with pain. So I'm a woman. I can tell you all that is a true statement. With spasm of distress, you will bring forth children. Yet your desire and cravings will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. So there we go. For those of you who said the man is not the head of the household, he very much so is. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. Read the Bible for yourself. Genesis 3, verse 16. The end of the verse. Yet your desire and craving will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. Now, why do you think? Okay, why do you think it is that women desire a husband? Right? Why do you think it could be because of what God said right here in verse 16? He gave him a desire and a craving. A dust sandwich. Imagine how dust would taste. I would not want to eat dust. Me either. A dust sandwich is wild, Lula. I have had 2 kids, lost 2 babies. Sure, it's painful childbirth. Yes, it's painful. And sorry for your loss, Dolly. I've experienced that as well. I've lost 5, so I can understand. So yeah, imagine that. And then it says your desire is going to be for your husband. He's going to rule over you. So God, husband, woman. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, you don't have to. I don't. It doesn't affect me one way or the other. I'm reading what's in the Bible. And verse 17 says, and to Adam he said, because you have listened and given heed to the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it. The ground is under a curse because of you. In sorrow and toil shall you eat of the fruits of it all the days of your life. So that's the curse. So that brings me to another question, you guys. The curse for the woman was to bring forth children, right? In pain and suffering and distress and all those things. And then the curse for the man is to work the ground. And he says, you shall not even the ground is under a curse because of you. In sorrow and toil you should eat, right? So he's got to work the ground. He has to go to work. So why is it that some men, and this might be a whole nother conversation, we might have to do another part 3 tomorrow. Why is it that some men tell their women they got to go to work? If it says right here that God cursed her with the grief of pregnancy and pain and childbirth. Okay, let's say a woman, let's say you have a married couple and a woman did her part and had the kids, and the husband is working. Is it fair if the man then says you got to go to work? Now I know things happen where sometimes financially the woman has to go to work. She has to try to help out and be the helpmate. And I'm not suggesting that she does not. What I'm saying is, can you all tell me what you think about what I just read in the Bible? If God said that the woman, her curse was that she's going to, bear children in pain and be in distress, which is all true. We already said that. Dolly confirmed it, right? And then he says, now the man has to go work the fields, right? Just work. So why is it that a man, and I don't want you all to think I'm a man, like I'm against men. I'm not. I love men. I have a whole husband, and I love my daddy and my brother and all the men in my life, right? So I like men. We're good. I just have a question. Why then do men say to women, you need to go work? What if they are financially good and then the man still says, no, you need to go to work. You don't need to be sitting in this house doing whatever it is that you do. You need to go to work. I want to know from the men, what you think? And maybe we can carry this on tomorrow because I'm already an hour past this. Plus, I had the first live. So I just want to ask you all that question before I forget. Dolly, hi. Thank you, Eve. I can blame you for the suffering having kids. I can't wait to meet you. Me either. I can't wait to meet Eve because I had some questions for her. Girl, why did you bite that fruit when God told you not to? And now this is what, because of your actions, all the other women in the world, we had to face this childbirth. But you know what? Like I said, poor Eve. She's probably going to have a whole lot of women asking her that same question. But that's the consequence too, isn't it? I want to meet her. Eve, what happened? What made you do it? Because now we suffer because of your mistake. And also, like I said, it could have been any of us. It could have been anybody, not just Eve. It could have been Andrea. It could have been Tammy. It could have been whoever. Shaquita. It could have been Molly. Pick a name. Megan. Would we all have chosen the same thing? I don't know. I was not in the garden. I would like to think that I would have said, I'm not going to eat from that tree. I would have liked to think that I would have listened to God. But what if I hadn't? Now people will be like, I want to ask Andre that question when we get to heaven. But I'm sure asking questions, I got questions for God too. I got questions for everybody. Yes, I agree. Dolly said, greed, said J3. I'm back. Hey, J3. I know J3. Hey, what's happening? J3 was in here. Cal said, Dolly said, God gave me one girl, one boy. It was his way. That's right. His way is the best way. It's the best way, Dolly. That's what I think. I said I wanted one. He gave me 5. Go figure. God's way is the best way. I love my kids. I have fun with them. They had me laughing. all snow day yesterday, all today so far, and they had me laughing all the time. If I would have had one, maybe it would just be too peaceful and calm in the house, right? God knew I needed the excitement and the adventure and the laughter and all of that. All the personalities, it's his way, God's plan. And just like God, just like Jesus, when he was ready to get on the cross, what did he say? He asked, can you let this cup pass from me? But he was like, wait a minute, let me think about this. It's God's way. Like, he fell into line. I was like, all right, it can't be about me right now. It's what God is. Are you willing to submit your plans, which may be different from God's? Are you willing to submit your plans to God and say, okay, these are my plans, but it's your way. It's the way you want me to do things. It's the life you want me to live. So you got to be ready to say, I submit this thing to you, because I'm telling you, it changes. Whatever you thought you were going to do, when I was younger, I had a whole plan for my whole entire life. My plan looks nothing like the plan that I have for my life. Maybe, no, it don't look nothing like it. It looks nothing like the plan I have for my life. It doesn't. I'm not living where I said I was going to live. I don't have the amount of kids I thought I was going to have. The occupation that I'm doing is not what I thought I would be doing. Never thought I'd have a small business. Didn't have that. Didn't have it in mind. Although I will say, when I read my senior book when I was in high school, I wrote in my senior book I wanted to have a business. So that came to pass. I didn't even remember writing it in my book. So it did come to pass that I wanted a small business in my book. I thought something else, but I actually wrote that in my book. I went to college for something different. So God knew is my the point I'm trying to make. He knows what's best for us. Are we willing to submit our plans to him? Were they willing to listen to what God said and say, okay, God said don't do this. I'm not gonna do it regardless of what the serpent says. They didn't. They listened to the serpent and they were like, okay, the serpent he might be right about this one here. Let me go with what he says. They didn't fully submit to what God was telling them to do. That's it. Nobody's going to persuade me different. No, I'm just joking. If I see something, I'm definitely going to take it into consideration because I'm learning too. Let's see what Cal said. Cal said, sad thing is it caused pain to the earth as well. The animals, the planet never was the same because of men. The sin we let in affected everything. And it's the same now, Cal, isn't it? It's the same thing. Because we choose our way over God's way, we face the consequences of our sin, of our actions. And you see it right here. Yes, I agree, said Dolly. J3, greed. Yep. So what do we do? Do you submit your plans to God? Or do you say my way is a better way? My way is a better way. And then you deal with the consequences of your decisions. So when you say your way is a better way, be prepared to deal with those decisions that you have made. That's all I'm saying about that. And let's see, did I forget anything that I should have read? So, oh, are we back? Okay. Oh, okay, good. So, yeah, Dolly said curiosity. Yeah, curiosity. Curiosity gets the best of us sometimes. And we're like, hey, I think I want to do it this way. Maybe I want to tiptoe into this arena, even though I don't. So, yes, God's plan, said Dolly. And J3 said, hello, everyone. Um, Gotta go. All right, see you later, Ma. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Okay, bye. Hi, Terry. Everybody saying hi and bye. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I think we can end right there, you all. Tomorrow, I don't know. It'll probably be have a great day, Andre. Fun summer. Thank you. You all helped me through this as usual. As usual. We work through this together, and that's what we'll be doing the rest of the week. Today is what? Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, so tomorrow, Wednesday, maybe we'll talk about another Bible verse. I like the way you all were chiming in today. I really enjoyed that. I love that energy, and I love it. Absolutely love it when you all share your perspective. You already know that. So thank you so much. Gotta run, phone on 3%. All right. See you later, Cal. We're out of here in a second. So thank you all for coming in. God bless everybody, says Dolly. And I will see you all tomorrow at 10. You know what? While I am talking, let me pull these things up. Because you already know it is time. It's time to say goodbye. So be sure, share this with somebody if you think that if you know somebody who could benefit from this, and I'm sure somebody can, just share this with them. Share this video with them so it can bless them. If you, I don't know, have not liked it, make sure you do that. And if you're not a subscriber and you want to join this amazing community, then do that as well. And you all know I'm looking for this video so that I can send you out with the proper goodbye. And I'm looking for mine. Okay, so I'm looking for it and I found it. So have a good rest of your day, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. I will see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to geekygirlsjournal.com to make purchases for the special girl or woman in your life. We have books and motivational merch. Check us out.